can't get that to the prophets.
Hey, this is Teddy Perry. I'm coming back at you live. We got some live conversation going on, and it's powerful. And Brother Eel was talking about the prophets and the people that brought us the important messages that we should have listened, and learned from years ago. Now tell us about the prophets and how you feel about the prophets and the message that they brought to the people that they ignored, and they are paying for it dearly.
First of all, let's start with Abraham. Abraham and Moses came to tell our people that they didn't have to do away with sacrifice, that they did not to kill animals no more.
That's right.
First of all, then after he told us that we had, when they talk about Exodus means that we exit out of the old way and came into a new way of thinking. The old paradigm that we are going with today won't stand up.
Come on.
It won't stand up, man, because if you still thinking the way you thinking 20 years ago, you ain't gonna make it in this age. And so he came to tell us that we had to get rid of that dogma, those doctrines, and to stop making sacrifice and come into a way of life. Because the way of life that our people practiced was Islam, the way of peace. But it seemed like to us, we don't know the way of peace. The way of peace has been given to us already. And we keep talking about how would they know they have a preacher? Then how many messages Allah done sent to us? He done sent us over 144,000 prophets. And by now, we haven't heeded the message by now. We're really in bad shape.
Yeah.
Come on. Come
We're
on.
really in bad shape. Because number one, he done sent messenger after messenger. He sent Buddha. He sent Confucius. He sent Muhammad. He sent Zoroaster. What else do we want? What else do we want, man? All these prophets that we talk about bring us a message. But yet the people haven't comprehended the message, or they have went away from the message.
And what do you think about Notre Dame? I think he was a messenger too.
Yeah. All what they told us, and every last one of them from that Bible right there, all the prophets taught one thing, and that was obedience.
That's right.
And we choose not to be obedient. That's why we suffering.
That's
How
right.
about this?
Yeah.
In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11, it says, and he gave this talking, I believe this is Paul talking. I believe,
You can't get that to the message.
I believe this was
Because of
Paul
us.
talking, which God sent Paul telling him this, that on the 11th verse, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, until the measurement of the stature of the fullness of faith of Christ. So pretty much that's dealing with what you were saying.
Yeah.
Because we got it like Miss
So we can
Teddy
sit
be
here
saying.
and debate all we want. The fact of the matter that all the prophets that he sent toward obedience. Now man has been chosen because the messenger's job was to deliver the message, drop the message, and leave you with the message.
That's right.
And if you don't heed the message and go away from the message, that's not on the messenger.
That's right. That's right. That's why they say don't shoot the messenger.
That's why I said this ain't like Miss Teddy be saying too. This ain't no God thing, nor a religious thing, nor a city thing.
And I'm glad you say that because I was around the mosque yesterday and me and a brother, another Muslim, was talking about Islam itself is a way of life. This is my way of life. The way of life of my forefathers. It's not, it's in a way of life. When you talk about a way of life is not a religion. Let's get that straight.
That's right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Run what you can't hide.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this now.
Man. I mean, we got to wake up, man, like he's talking about.
Now, I want to ask you this question. I heard, and I'm not racist. I got many friends of all colors. I heard this white man make this statement. Why is it that all black men, once they get locked up for years and years and years, why do they come to the Nation of Islam? Answer that.
First of all, let's go back historically. Islam has always been our religion, was the religion of our forefathers. And I think why most brothers, why I came into Islam, because Islam teaches a man how to be responsible, to make him become a man. You know how he can become a man, how he become a man, how will he take care of his family, his duty to his Creator. That's what it's based on. Because we need something. All of us have a duty to the Creator, whether we want to accept it or not. And that's what Islam basically teaches. It teaches us to have a duty to our Creator, have a duty to the Creator and to humanity, to uplift our people. That's why a lot of brothers come to Islam. You know.
Well, I thank you. I thank you.
It gives us a duty to our Creator and to humanity, to uplift our people. And that's what we need in this age, because most of us, man, don't have a duty. And it makes you recognize your duty to your Creator.
All right,
Like
my
I
brother.
said, this ain't a city thing, you know. But we need to get together and love one another. When you trying to help your city or trying to make a difference, you got to show love too. Now, like I said earlier, we need to get our stuff straight before black people, don't do no more offices or running.
I don't disagree with that wholeheartedly, because I want to interject this thought. What he's saying, we are the only people on this earth, man, that don't understand love and unity. We don't. We are on what they call schism, division. You know, and that's what I'm saying, WB. And I have to hit this off. And don't think like I'm picking on you. You got Christians. We all got to come together. Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, all of us. Until we see the light, man, we're gonna be like we are.
That's right.
Church age, in the book of Revelation, said we're living in the time of the church of Laodicea.
Yeah.
The church of Laodicea was lukewarm, neither hot nor cold.
You know,
Therefore,
you got
Jehovah will spit them out.
You know, and I don't mean no harm. You got Christians today, and I don't mean no harm. I got to go to the truth. When you read the scripture and you talk about anything about Muhammad, they want to etch Muhammad out. But you can't do that, because it says in Quran we make no distinction between any of them. It's wrong to make a distinction between any of the prophets that Allah sent in. All of them are the same, and all of them taught the same thing. And I don't care if you are Christian, Buddhist, or you follow Confucius, but whatever you follow, in the end, we're going to all have to meet.
That's right. That's right.
We're going to all have to meet. You can sit there and say all you want, because what we're doing right now, we're fighting the inevitable battle. That's called schism. And or another term they call sectarianism. Being divided up into sects and parties, that's not going to help us, man.
Like I just said, we need to stop fighting off of religion and stuff, because
and I'm so glad to know that what I'm into now, that Islam is a way of life, not a religion. It's a way of life.
That's
because
right.
it says right in the Bible, said the Sabbath was made for man, and man was not made for the Sabbath.
That's
so man
right.
was not to practice any religion.
The serious Bible said
we got to stop rumbling each other. You know, like I went up to that church the other night. I enjoyed the church service, but I like to see the day when we all can put our differences aside.
That's right.
When Christians will stop coming down talking about Muslim, they don't recognize Muhammad. They don't want to recognize Muhammad. I recognize Jesus. That's dogma, man. We got to get off of that.
Like the Bible said, God's word does not fight. So pretty much, we can't fight on these things, because we gotta realize and know that, like you just said, when it all comes down to an end, we all going to have to meet one person to judge us. And, we gotta live the life. We gotta live the lifestyle.
It pisses me off to the point where I hate to hear Christians say, "Oh, I don't recognize Muhammad." Well, who would that mean then? If you don't recognize Muhammad, how can you recognize Muhammad, but yet you don't recognize Jesus? Come on.
Well, not to turn this into a religious debate, but
But I'm just saying we got to
from the mouth of babes.
Get off of that, because that's not helping us.
Yeah, because people always like to discriminate other religions and
And I'm glad to know that my way of life.
But I'm glad to know,
and
like
my
you just
email
said,
that I got teaches me that this is a way of life. This is a way of life, man. It's not a religion.
And I believe religion is a way of life too.
Yeah.
Because like 2 Corinthians 7:1 said that we must perfect holiness and stop dealing with a whole lot of filthiness and foolishness, because that's what Dwight C. Jones and his posse, and and his associates.
And I say, and I
And
say
this
this,
the
and he's
baby.
right. I say
This from
because-
coming from the baby.
I say this. I say
Jones-
this
13 years old.
Jones and associates.
long as we
Come
stay
on
like
now,
this,
baby. That's
Marcus
right.
Garvey said this: as long as we stay, long as you say I'm Christian and I'm Muslim and I'm Buddhist,
And
as
I'm
long as we stay
Methodist
over
and
here,
whatever.
we'll be murdered and killed, and we'll keep on being murdered and killed.
Put it to the real truth. It really doesn't matter
Yeah.
who you are. You got to live the life.
Yeah,
So
That's
you
right.
know, you can't say that you something and you ain't living it.
That's right. Talking the talk without walking the walk.
Yeah.
you know.
Yes,
so
so
I want to see the
Dwight-
day that when we all can come together and because man, the way we going right now, as long as we're divided, we're gonna keep being murdered.
That's right.
It's a clear example. When you seen they played the race car with Trayvon Martin, and it's gonna keep happening to us.
Now, I'm here to tell Dwight C. Jones this. He need to stick to religion.
That's
Because
right.
politics ain't doing so well to him. Because at First Baptist Church where he pastored, well, senior pastor, and his son is the pastor and worked for the school board. Religion and politics don't go together.
And he showed everybody that. He showed everybody.
God does not like that. And being that this nation is under God, but that doesn't mean that politics got to be in religion, or religion got to be in politics. We got to stick on one accord.
And that's what you call right there. When they talk about the separation of
Of
church and state.
That's
They're trying
right.
to say that church and state is not combined together. It is.
Yes,
It's
is.
all one entity.
Yeah, you just deal with.
Or they use another term. They call it secular.
It
And
deal.
secular means worldly.
It deal. Only thing why they say that because it deals with the Pledge of Allegiance. They trying to take the Pledge of Allegiance out. They trying
Like
to
they
take
did
God.
the prayer.
God.
Jump in, Louis, anytime.
And you got a great point because that's what me and my daughter's talking about. That the thing is they've been trying to do is separate man from God.
That's right.
That's
Well,
what they've been trying to do.
One thing about Richland Public School, I hear some people talk about the segregation, Marty Jew, and the others talk about the segregation of public school. This is an opportunity for us as blacks to show that we, number one, that we can run something right. Number two, to raise up the next generation better than we have the previous one, to do what they need to
Wholeheartedly.
do, economically and socially. The way that the old folks used to do it, what they tell
And
me.
when I look at that brother, there it is right there before
Yes,
us.
sir.
Because these old people, they so old and set in their ways, they ain't gonna change.
Second Corinthians chapter 4:4.
That brings me back to Moses' time.
Who's mine?
You remember, not to cut you off though, let me say this real quick. You remember when Moses, the story of Moses, told about Jordan and the old people was going to die because they wasn't fit to lead the way no more. They had to let the younger people cross and the older ones die. That's why Moses let I forgot that boy's name, Aaron or to take over because he was old and he had to go, and God wanted young people for he can use. That's what the next generation for God can use these people, but he ain't. These old people. I'm not trying to disrespect or anything, but like Moses did back then. God's gonna do that. That's how generational things go. So it's very
And you're
powerful.
right. And you got most of the people that, when you talk about the generational how it go, you got most of the old people that they will fight hard against the younger ones. Why? Because
That's
they know
right.
they're coming in.
That's right.
They'll fight because they still operate
Like a
off of old
lion,
ideas.
yeah, and principles.
And they not gonna change.
But they think us
Yeah.
us young people don't know anything. They think being that we just come in the world and stuff, that we don't know anything. But look, as we learn in school and as we learn in research,
and you learn from your neighbors.
yeah,
and your friends.
you got to you know, realize that young people know
He's
stuff.
got a great
Yes,
point.
they
because
do.
Just
you walk
like
out
in
there on Broad
cursing.
Street, hypothetically speaking, you can run across 10 brothers and sisters my age. I'm 61 years old. And half of them don't think the way I'm thinking. Some of them still got that same ideological paradigm.
Mentality.
You know, they not going to change their ideas with the time. And when you talk to them about change, half of them don't want to change.
That's right.
But this young brother here, you can talk to him and they fired up.
Yeah.
They enthusiastic.
That's right.
But you got some of our old brothers don't even want to change.
Well, I'm in the Boys and Girls Club, and you know, I like how they run it because they let the adults supervise them and lead them, and the kids just run the club. That's what
And
the
so
purpose of the
thing has
Boys and
got to
Girls
change,
Club
man.
for, because they are shaping young
And
people.
molding. That's right. For the future.
And you know, the adults are being the potter, and they are molding
Come on,
the
man.
kids to be the next presidents, the next secretary, the vice presidents, you know, the next
Doctors.
leaders of this nation, the next healers and helpers of this country. I'd love to see a young person grow up, it may be me, you know,
That's
grow
right.
up and,
Dream.
you know, take over this state to the next level.
Come on now. That's
Man,
right.
me
It's
myself,
possible.
I got a lot of zeal to see any young buck in this day and time
Yes.
come on.
That's
Because
right.
you got half the dudes and the brothers I know that is my age or better, they still working with old world ideas.
That's
You
right.
talk to them and they don't even want to change.
And yep, that's what I'm trying to do, a youth council or something like that, because you know, youth have ideas for this city and for this state, and a lot of these whiteys, like the fish, you know, that they call whiteys, and you know, not just the whites, some blacks too. They don't let the children talk.
That's right.
And you know, speak on what they believe for
And
the
what they
community,
feel.
what they feel for the community that is right. And that's why I'm trying to start this council,
When he's
because
saying
you
what
know,
you're saying, I agree wholeheartedly. Because
yeah,
I tell my daughter every night, whether we like it or not, these old people, what God is going to do, the great God of the universe, He's going to move these old people out that don't want to change,
That's right.
and He's going to bring about these people.
That's right. The
Because
young
it
people.
says right in the Bible that He said He will take the kingdom away from us and give it to another people.
That's right. All right, Mr. Panaflex, come on.
What they say is true. I'm not a real student of religion like I should be, but I know that there is
We
a
can't
God.
stop these young people, man. They're going to come on where we want to
I actually want them to step up. I'm
That's right.
I'm
I'm
excited to see a
excited.
next generation
That's
step
right.
up. I'm tired of looking at black kids and see that look that I had when I was their age. You don't know where you're going. You don't understand why this is happening, but you live through it every day. I'm tired of it. I want to see the next generation step up and take control and do what's right for everybody.
That's right.
Black and white, but particularly for who you are. You
know,
need to
this
know.
nation ain't flying right. This nation need to get straight, get their business straight, get their politics straight. Some churches need to get their mind right, who they gonna serve, and you know, because right now this nation is like a crooked evil.
Slam it.
You
Slam
know,
it.
it's just flying on the wayside, and need somebody to help them to stand. So pretty much, we are the United States of America. We are the most powerfulest country in this universe, in this world, because you know, being that we are the powerfulest country, we need to be the people that are power. You know, us black people, not to be racism, but you know, if you look, like I was telling him, we created math. Us Egyptians,
That's right.
you know, created math.
Come on.
And you know, history and all that stuff. And if you look at that, white people who made these history books, pretty much, putting their fake and hatred side of the story, you know.
Come on.
And white people treat us, our family members, our ancestors, like crap when they was slaves. So pretty much it's up to us now to step up to the plate, and that's what I like about Chris Dorsey, because you know he may be white, you know, but he care about us black people. And it's a shame how C.T. Woody is black, and our stupid big-headed mayor, not to, you know, not to criticize him like that though, but he's black, and he's, you know, yeah, he, you know, look at his forehead, you know,
the demon,
you know,
what you did, WB, about white, you got to understand that the man himself, that most people, man, when they get in a position like that, even though he's a mayor, and that's don't take it. He's just like the new mayor they got in Washington, D.C., with his name, Gray, you know, that took Adrian Fentress's place. A lot of people, when they get to the top, you got to understand this, that was probably already ingrained in him anyway, not to help nobody.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? Either you go, in life, it's either one or two things. Either you're going to uplift fallen humanity, or either you're not. As simple as that.
That's right.
Either you're going to uplift your people, or either you're going to stand or try to liberate your people, or either you're not. If you don't stand for liberation, then
you'll fall.
You know, that's it. Either you're going to be about liberation, or either you're not.
That's right.
Just the other man, Pastor G of the Rock. You know, he's racism too. Believe it or not, all them souls that he, you know, got in the church that overflowed the Richmond Outreach Center. I'm tired of black people hating on black. In other words, how are you gonna be black and you talking about blacks? You know, they are your brothers and sisters. And how is it that you treat your brothers and sisters physically nice, and you can't, and you trying to help the city, and you ain't helping them in a positive way, you helping them in a negative way? Look at our school system, and look, and they say that you know that Richmond don't got money, but they rich as crap. And if you really want to know this, VCU just got $62 billion. Again.
And maybe I'm just throwing this out
because of medical study.
That picture of WB, maybe it's going to take somebody after Mayor White Jones to take this. You got to remember, everybody's not a part of the elect. It's a lot of people didn't come from the elect. What I mean by the elect, some of us was chosen to carry out this work. Maybe this man was not chosen to do the work. You got to look at that also. He was probably not chosen to do the work.
He won the election.
I don't care if he did win
the election.
I'm talking about from the elected.
He bought the election.
I'm talking about the elect of God. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody's not elected to do this work.
He's
not elected to do this. Because if he was chosen, he would carry it out.
But he nonetheless won the election. Twice.
He bought the election.
On the ballot the last
time. He should not have been on the ballot.
And that's what you got to understand. You can talk there and rap and rave and call and say he ain't doing this. Man was not elected by God, man.
That's right.
But he is a pastor chosen by God to preach.
No, we don't necessarily know that he was chosen by God.
Well, he's been a pastor for a number of years. I had a lot of people tell me
about
that. You know?
Satan has been on top.
That's why I'm angry at him, because if you're a man of God, and how many people here? 10,000 people at his church? So you leading a church of 10,000 people for a number of years, and you're prominent. You was in the General Assembly for 20 years, and all of a sudden...
I'm saying, if you're elected, you go carry out the work.
We need a hot bowl of water and scald his tail.
You gonna carry out the work, and that means you're gonna. If you're chosen to do this work, you're gonna assist the poor. You're gonna help the weak. You're gonna do that.
That's right.
But in his case, he hasn't done that, so he hasn't been chosen.
That's right. That's why I say he wasn't chosen. He said, "Many will come in my name, but they are not all chosen."
And
now,
look at that. He's probably not chosen. It's going to probably take somebody else after him to carry out the work.
But that's what is going to happen.
It's going to have to happen.
Put me on.
No.
Look, I want to say this.
He's going to have to be removed out of office.
Dwight Jones will have to be removed, and I feel that. And I'm doing my best to help send him to jail.
It might be a thing. Maybe he don't know how to carry out the work.
But he has enough assistants making hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it right.
But
they're not trying to feed man, our poor people, the knowledge and the wisdom to carry on, to lift themselves up. He and Woody are actually stomping these people down.
But look
Because
though,
if he does that, what you're talking about, then people in turn can make their conditions better.
but also look,
They can make their conditions
we gotta realize preachers they got too much on their plate when they doing a church and a whole entire city. It can't do that because the Bible says we got to keep our mind on Jesus. So pretty much, how is he gonna do that and making he made the biggest mistake in his life when he became the mayor of the city. Look at
him.
according to him, he crazy.
He's paid.
According
The
to
people
his
voted for it.
dictionary, in the White C. Jones dictionary, he's on crack pretty much, thinking that he's done well, or he must be on steroids, or drinking too much magnesia for his bowel system going up to his head. Because you gotta realize, you gotta think what else is good for the city, not just for yourself. Because this city is like your family. You gotta take care of this city.
And I agree with what he's saying, because maybe this man is just not the one.
He is not the one.
He is not.
Maybe he's not the one. You gotta look at that.
Get me.
Twice. Because the responsibility of the people is just kind of nailed.
Now, I wanted to say this about Dwight Jones. And ever since I was in high school, I never liked Dwight Jones. Because here we go back again talking about my girlfriend that he had an affair with in high school. Now, Dwight Jones, I say this, deny the fact that you've ever known Gloria Jean Clark. Deny the fact that you dated her in high school and she was underage and you were married and grown and with a family. Deny the fact that you didn't impregnate her. Deny the fact that you didn't give her a lump sum of money to leave the city of Richmond. Deny that, and I will get off your back. Deny the fact that you didn't steal the money from the church over in Verona.
And it hurts me to say this, but this makes me feel like crying because when we look in the city, us kids don't have a lot. And it hurts for me to say this, that a lot of poor people, he have done nothing for the poor people. And Miss Teddy, and you, Miss Teddy, you are working so hard to get the people a place for to go in for the winter, because how you gonna be a mayor and you don't, and talking about caring for the city, and you're not really caring for the poor people. You think so much of these rich people that live near you and that work for you and that are your associates. You can't think about the people that look up to you. You can't think about the people that are praying for you to make a difference. If it was like that, I would be stopped praying for you.